Okay, so in case any didn't follow, I got these instructions from the Metra website on how to remove it. This is all the instructions I use right here. You'll probably find that on the internet. I might leave a link below here. In case you didn't follow this information here. Goes head unit sound, goes through all of the wires, and the idea behind this is if you were going to add a Bluetooth device that it would be intercepted here. The sound from the Bluetooth device would go back into the speakers. But since we're not adding a Bluetooth device, we're just going to connect this harness, which I already did, back into itself. And some people say you have to remove these wires here, but it doesn't really do anything because they just go into themselves on the other side. So it's not going to hurt anything to go like that. So that will bring this sound coming from here back into the car speakers, which is through the factory harness out this way. So what you want to do is cut into these speakers. Just make one cut, and one side is going to go to your amplifier, and it will amplify the sound, bring it back, and go into the other side of the cut here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut it here and crimp on some butt connectors, one side, just so when I'm inside working around connecting all my speaker wires up, I don't have as many connections to do in there. I'm just going to pre-connect them here, get them ready. Okay, so I made my cut here between the Bluetooth connection where it's going to plug into the stereo. I just cut it right down the middle, twisted up all my ends, and on the end that's coming from the stereo, that's going to go to the amplifier, which is this one right here. You follow it along here. I'm going to put two sets of these on. And what this is, it converts speaker wire to RCA. It's going to be high level though. My amplifier accepts high level inputs. So I'm going to run it to that. Toss a coupling on there, like this. Toss a coupling on, and then I have a single wire that runs 4 channels of RCA from the amplifier back to the head unit here. So that's how I'm going to run it back there, and then when I come back, I'm going to use the butt connectors to connect my speaker wire from the amp back into this harness right here. Okay, so all the speaker wires are labeled on the harness, and I got them plugged into my adapter here. No, you don't have to cut all the wires. You're going to need one of these, the red one I think. Red one for your remote wire for your amp. And you don't have to cut the yellow one, and you don't have to cut the black one, but I cut them just because I was cutting them all. So just cut the speaker wires, and the red one you're going to have to tie your remote wire in. Don't cut the other ones. Okay, here you can see the completed harness. I put all the connectors on ready to go, the butt connectors. I had to use the blue ones for 16 gauge wire, and I just doubled up the end. I just folded the end and put it in because my speaker wire that I'm running is 16 gauge. So I got all those ready to go in. I repaired these two that I didn't have to cut, and I'm going to put my remote wire in there, and all my speaker leads coming out here are ready to go into my amplifier RCA cable when I run it. So there we go, it's ready to go in the truck. Okay, here we are, part 2 amplifier install here. And starting off, I made one change here. Decided I took out the carpet, and I can fold up the seats all the way if I happen to cut out that little space there. So I did cut an indent, and my wood's in behind the carpet there. I know I wanted to keep it as stock as I could. I plan on cutting out the whole carpet around the wood, but just around the amplifier was good enough, and that's hidden anyways. So I've already removed all the panels. I'm going to run all my wires here. Just remove your panels there. Up here, move that panel. This one just pulls out here, the one by the hood release there. And I just pulled that one out for fun. I don't know if you need to pull that out. Check out my other video on how to remove the stereo there. It's already ready to be removed. I just got to pry these out off to the side, and I'm all ready to go there. And I just disconnected the negative battery terminal so I don't get any short circuits. So basically I'm just going to bring the wires along here with the rest of them, and they kind of come up in behind here anyways. You can't really see, maybe you can. And they come up and they run along the bottom of this up into the stereo. So I'm just going to follow the existing ones there. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm not going to show any of it. I'm just going to fish them all through, starting with my RCA cables there. Okay, so here you can see I ran my 4-channel RCA cable here. Just ran it all the way back. It's all loose right now. It comes along here and it goes into the back. I just used this piece of solder and it comes out right here into this tangled mess. Can't really untangle it, it's all messed up right now. So now I'm just going to take my base remote wire. I'm going to do that because it has a thicker end on it, and I'll do all the speaker cable last there. So I'm just going to do the same thing, just fish it through the door. It's I'm not going to show you that, but that's basically all I'm doing here. I'm just going to take my remote wire, and I'm not really sure where I'm going to mount it yet though, so I'm just going to leave it loose somewhere over here. It might end up just being under the console, I don't know. Okay, so here I'm just going to show you this here. I've got a string that runs all the way through my root, all the way to the back of the truck here. Goes all the way through. I'm going to tie my my remote wire onto that, sorry, my base remote onto that, and pull it back all the way through. It's not a bad idea to attach onto that wire an additional string, so that once you pull it all the way through, you've got another string still running all the way through the truck, and you can just pull another wire and just keep alternating back and forth. So you always have a string running through the truck, so you don't have to keep running a fish through it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and run this right now. I'll have another string, and then I'm going to start running the speaker wire there. And after that, I'll show you the harness setup over here. Okay, so I've got all my wires run. They're all labeled. They come along up underneath here. Still got to cut that. And they come down around. And make sure when you run them, if you run them in here, that you tuck them up in behind this wire here, or else it's going to interfere with your brake there. Make sure there's no rubbing. I don't know if I'm pointing it there. No rubbing in the area up in here. So I cut the green tape in this channel along here in order to tuck all my wires in. You can see they're running all along there. So I'm just going and I'm pulling them all tight to the back. I haven't done here yet. I'm just going to pull them all up through and start crimping and tying them in. Okay, so all my speaker wires run, and I got my harness here, my Metra harness. It's already all made up with my RCA adapters on it here, and I got my speaker leads all ready with the butt connectors on it, whatever you call that. So I'm just going to go ahead and match them all up here, mark it all out, and match them to the colors, and that's pretty much it. It's not self-explanatory, really. Okay, so got all my speaker wires connected here. They're kind of tangled right now, but they're all right here. I've tied my remote wire in to the ignition power here. I've got all my harness all hooked up. Everything's ready to go. All I have to do is plug this into my head unit, into the back here. Plug my stock harness into that, just sitting in here. And then I've got my RCA leads, which are right here. Got front and rear labeled, and then I've got them also labeled on the actual thing here, which isn't very long, but that's okay. It's got lots of play with these right here. So I'm going to tape everything up nicely since it's going to be in there forever. And alright, there you can see I plugged everything in the back. I don't need to explain that because you'll know what you're doing if you're even attempting this. See, there's lots of room for everything to go inside under there. It's all pushed back nicely. Everything's all tied in. Harness is plugged in. And now I'm going to go back to the amplifier back there and start working away at that. Okay, so I'm here in the back seat. I've already started hooking up some of my speaker wires here. Just a note, if you do order the same wiring kit as this, be very careful how you spread your wire out. If you leave too much slack, you're gonna end up not having enough wire. You can see I left only a little bit of slack on each wire, and this is the amount left over. So I'm gonna have to try and find somewhere else to get some wire for my sub, unless it's might be exactly enough right there. So just be careful as you're stretching your wire across. Don't leave too much up at the head unit, and don't leave too much back here, or you're gonna have to run to the store and grab some more wire. So yeah, I'm just working away here, tying in my my wires, and I'm gonna mount my fuse, and shortly we'll be able to hear some sound. Okay, so I got everything connected here. Everything's all tied in. Subwoofer's plugged in. The head unit's put back in, and I connected it to the battery up here. You can see right in through there. Just tried to use up the cable because you can't really cut this end, and it's tied into the battery. So I'm just going to connect the negative battery terminal, and we're going to flip it on and see what happens. Alright, so here we are on another day. So I'd show you the finished product of my installation here. I got my kicker base remote mounted. There's a little bit of wire showing here, but I didn't feel like drilling a big hole in the back. It's not noticeable anyway. So you got your base remote mounted there. All my wiring's done in behind my my factory head unit, and then in the back here, you got my kicker amp, 700 watt, 5 channel. It's actually 900 watts. Kicker stuff is usually overpowered. I've got all my wires coming in here. You can see I still gotta buy a longer sub wire because I ran out of speaker wire. So we got all my connections in there. The carpet's pushed back to hide that. On the other side, behind this carpet, I've got my fuse, my 100 amp fuse. So we got my kicker thing mounted there. I got my Alpine 300 watt subwoofer here. And so I played with the crossover frequencies and the gains here over the past kind of week, just to see what sounds best there. And I think my digital camera cuts the sound a little bit. So just make sure when you set your amplifier gains, you turn them down to the right level, because when you press the sync button, you know, sync is automatically at that volume already. So you gotta make sure she's not too loud.
Is that correct?
No, shut the hell up. So just make sure you set your gain low enough so that when you turn your sync on, you're not blasting your stereo in your face. Alright, so that's it for my my install. Any questions? Leave them in the comment section below.